Chloe. I'm playing some games with a friend of mine, and then the notification sound goes off. I think it's like any other message, so I nonchalantly alt tab out of the game and I read it. I see that it's from one of my closer friends. I thought maybe he wanted to play the game that we were playing, but I quickly realized that it wasn't anything I wanted to hear. He told me you weren't going to be able to finish the commissions, so I asked him why. He said that you were no longer with us. I knew exactly what that meant, but I chose to not believe it. I continued and asked him what happened. He told me you hung yourself. He told me he didn't know how to break this to me any other way. I told him the commission was irrelevant at that point. I wanted to know exactly what happened. He then told me that it happened 2 days ago when you had gotten back from the family trip that you went on. You told him that you wanted to move on and focus on what you wanted to do. He also mentioned how happy you sounded when you told him, and because he loved you and supported you, he let you go. Time has passed since I last wrote this last paragraph, and I've been thinking how I should go about this because I want to capture the emotions as best as I can. I contemplated for days how to get all of my emotions and feelings from my brain to my fingers, but then I realized I shouldn't write this for just me. I should write it for all of your closer friends that I know of. I had someone ask people who they thought you were close to, which did consist of people from the Discord groups that we were in together. The basis was if they could say one thing to you, what would it be? Some people spilled their emotions, and others, I think, didn't want to accept that you were not here with us anymore, and give a very positive and sometimes silly answer. And then others gave more heartfelt and deeper thought to it. Here in a bit, I will share what they all said, but first we're going to start with mine. You and TJR were, whichever, some of my closest friends, even including people I know in real life. You were a great artist, a wonderful person, and a beautiful soul. I'd like to say that it came as a shock when I heard what I heard, but I'd be lying. I wasn't all surprised. I knew how sad and broken and tired you were. I knew your thoughts were more like the glasses half empty instead of half full. I tried everything within my power to remind you that suicide was never the option. But I felt like I failed. And I still do. I know I shouldn't blame myself. And I know the saying, no one could see it coming. But I could see it coming. You are the only person who I believed when you told me how you felt, how you wanted to die. I never took that lightheartedly. I took it seriously. Matter of fact, it was probably one of the most serious things I've ever taken. The several people who I told about what happened and how I lost a very close friend would always say, I'm sorry that happened to you, or I'm sorry to hear that. I know they mean well, but for some reason it seems like it just makes my emotions run wild. As if when they say those words, it's just reinforcing the fact that you are gone, that you aren't here, that we won't play any more games together, that I could never read you any of my writings. No more laughing, no more joking, no more anything. When your boyfriend and I were talking, there was one thing he told me that really hit home, and I 100% agree with him. You do not realize how many people you left behind, how many people still deeply cared about you. And to prove that, the thing I mentioned before, when they were asked if they could say anything to you, it could have been one last thing or reliving memories, what would it be? Somewhat as simple as saying, rest easy, friend, or let's go play, or even, Chloe, wanna make an awesome webtoon with me? It's gonna be an awesome collab. The things that were more emotional. At least you gave us hope and inspiration to be much more than we are today. You're a great friend, and let the Lord welcome you with open arms, as well as, don't do it, please. People will miss you, your homies will miss you, TJ will miss you, your besties will miss you, I too will miss you. It's gonna hurt when you go because I've seen people die in front of me before. Trust me, whatever you're doing or going through, we can talk this out. But please, don't. One person even said that they would display one of your arts and crafts that you did in their house, which is the current background for this video. But the evidence isn't over yet. We have more emotional and more in-depth ones. If I were to say one thing to you before you passed on, it's that I'm sorry. I'm sorry for not noticing your pain. I'm sorry for not being there for you. I'm sorry for ever letting you down as a friend. I'm sorry that I couldn't talk to you. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to save you. I'm sorry that I failed you. I'm sorry for everything. If there were more words to say before you passed on, it would be all of my love and soul poured into these words that I'm about to say to you. You, of 7 billion people in this world, is the best thing that ever happened to me. I am one of the luckiest people in the world to have ever met such a loyal and amazing friend like you. Despite me not being such a great friend to you, you stuck around and kept me like a true one. If I had opened my eyes to see you were in great pain, I could have possibly saved you. To make you stay. To make you live on longer. You would no longer be suffering anymore now that you have found peace. I want to say I love you for being there for me, for being my friend for 5 years. And I hope that you stay at peace now. We're almost done with these quotes, 2 more left. Kiddo, it was fun while it lasted. I'm glad you decided to open up to us back in the lounge. You got out of your shell and started to shine. Your art, your antics, and your bubbly personality made everyone else feel at ease. You wore your heart on your sleeve and never minced words. You were the friend people wanted and deserved. I'm sorry we couldn't be there for you when you needed it that one day. I understand that simply reaching out is not enough. You said I was kind, but I feel like I could have done more. You definitely deserve more. Your time with us was but a fleeting moment, but you have moved us in ways that only genuine friendships can. I hope that, even in the tiniest of ways, we have made an impact on your life as well. And in the honor of the art you made, I'll retire Rova Abin, the character I asked you to commission. I hope that wherever you are now, you're at peace. Take care, wait for us. And finally, the most important one, your other half. You always treated me like I was the sun in your life, like I was the guiding light that made your day. But I wasn't the guy you think I am. I'm not mature, not cool, collected, or calm in any way. I'm as dark and as edgy and as broken as you at your worst. And if it wasn't for you, I would have gone first. 'Cause really you're the moon to me, the one calming sight in the pitch black sky, my one companion in those sleepless nights, the constant reason I still fight. And though you're gone, I'll still tread on to find you again among the darkness. 'Cause even when my knees get weak and my arms get heavy, because we'll always have mom's spaghetti. Chloe, I want to be mad at you. I want to be angry with you, and I want to be upset, and I want to cry. But I'm a weird individual and I can't actually cry. I mean, I do cry, but they come in short bursts. Even now, about 2 weeks later, I keep rolling the mental image in my head of you getting whatever it was that you used to hang yourself. The pain and suffering, the burning sensation that crept into your lungs. If I couldn't change the events happening, I would have asked to change how you did it. I know. It's a weird request. But I also know when things get set into motion, there is no stopping it. The mental images of your sister walking into your room and seeing your body just hanging there motionless, it makes my heart ache even more. I want to wash out those thoughts. I want to stop overthinking, replaying all of those scenes in my head. But for some reason, I can't. So I try and play video games. I try and distract my mind so I don't think about those things. Talking with my friends or playing the same game for 7, 8, 9 hours at a time. Anything to make it go away. Even for a little. The worst part was realizing that there was a really high chance that I was the last person you talked to. When I invited you to play Deep Rock Galactic with us, you told me that you were coming back from a family trip and you'd let me know in a bit. Well, that in a bit came because you said never mind, things changed. And in your words, you said I'm just really tired, so I'm going to rest. I didn't think anything else but that you were sleepy from that trip and you were going to sleep. I'll be honest, I thought it was kind of odd how you worded it like that. But again, because I was too blind to see, I shrugged it off like it was just a sleep related phrase. I even told you when you see us playing, you are more than welcome to join at any given time. And all you said was alrighty. Like the word alrighty is the equivalent of how much your life is worth, as opposed to the words like okie dokie or sounds good. The weight of those words are filled with a more happy and spunky feeling than a simple alrighty. It's gotten to the point now where I've noticed other things that you left, like the role in Discord that you gave yourself. It was Japanese, so I'm sure anyone who saw it shrugged it off. It said, Kono hita wa shenda. I apologize for my American accent and terrible pronunciation, but it literally translated into this person is already dead. Chloe, how long did you plan this? Was a family trip the happy memory you sought to part with? Literal definition to live like it was your last day. That entire trip was your last day. I would go as far as saying that so many of your family saw how happy you were, and if they knew the sad Chloe that I knew, they probably forgot all about it because of that. I want to be clear with you, Chloe. There was a time I was so sad I wanted to die. I was going to commit to it, but someone called the police on me and shut up before I finished writing my suicide letter. At times, I wish the police hadn't come. At times, I wish I was successful. I thought death was meant for me, but I realize now that it was a dumb thing to do, to think to attempt. I realize how many people who love me and care for me I would be leaving behind. Suicide is a greedy thing to do, I'll admit that. Ending your suffering but causing a tremor of sadness, and everyone else who calls you a friend or a sister or a niece or a granddaughter. I keep asking myself, why? Why did you do this? And the suicide letter that you left said on repeat, I'm tired. But I feel like there's more to it. I feel like you had something else on your mind that you took to the grave with you, and no one will ever know. I don't have any evidence as to why I think these things, but it's just a feeling. As of this part, it's been about 5 weeks since I found out, and I still haven't come to terms with the fact that you are not here. If I could, I would fix every open wound, every scar on your heart, fill in every crack and cut on your shell. If it meant you would still be here, I would give every last drop of blood to bring the breath of life back to you. I wish you were still here, but I know deep down that you are in a better place. I know you are no longer tired. I know you are no longer sad. But I suppose it was the selfishness in me acting up for wishing you were still here. All the ones who gave me the quotes before, your family members and everybody else who considered you a friend, still wish you were still here. As this comes to a close, I'm still not quite satisfied with how this is turning out. And I still do not think I did justice for anything. I don't think that this is good enough to be posting. But I've waited long enough to post it. After all the things that have prevented me from finishing it, I can say now that it is finished. Maybe I will come back to you and tell you all of the things you have missed. To be honest, I think the biggest possible reason that I'm having a hard time accepting this piece isn't good enough is the simple fact that the last time someone close to me had died, I was only a child, so I never got the experience to write about it before. So I suppose that being said, this was a fresh perspective for me to write, for you to listen to, Chloe, and for you, the listener. For this last paragraph, I will leave you, the listener, with this. Remember that suicide is never the option. It might fix things for you in a flash, but it will cause a shockwave for all your loved ones and friends. An everlasting ripple effect. Talk to your local suicide prevention hotline. Talk to your friends or family. Talk to me. Even if you don't know me, I'll always listen to what you have to say. If you need someone you want to vent to, I'll always be here. Find some type of outlet for yourself. We don't need more beautiful souls leaving this big blue marble we call Earth.